everybody. How we doing? It's a wonderful Tuesday. Absolutely wonderful. The weather is amazing. It's amazing. And I'm this close to wanting to open my windows. I'm this close. I'm this close. Okay, all right, enough chit chat from me. All right, I'll cut it off now. We will get into the nitty gritty. Okay, today we are talking all about social media. Social media it's my best friend, you guys. It's my best friend. As an independent consultant, I just was not having luck with in-home parties or doing events, doing fundraisers. I wasn't having the luck, and I kind of got down on myself. But remember, guys, we really have to control our brain, right? So I had to tell my brain, okay, this isn't working, so what can I do differently? And so what I did is I kind of shifted from the in-home party and the events and the fundraisers to let's work a little bit on the social media side. Because at that time too, my husband was working overnights and weekends, and I was working during the day. And so with our schedules like completely overlapping, like we never even saw each other throughout the week because our schedules flip-flopped so much, that I knew that the only way that I was going to be able to be successful was to kind of do things more online. And that's kind of where I naturally had to shift. And so I put a lot of focus and a lot of energy into it. And when I did that, it just started to grow and grow and grow. And honestly, that's how I've grown my business. That's how I continue to grow my business. So for me personally, social media is huge. Hey, William, how are you today? So I wanted to kind of give you guys a little bit of inspiration, kind of give you a good starting point if you haven't yet gotten comfortable with social media. I hope to be able to give you some tips today that are going to inspire you, get you motivated, and kind of get those wheels turning, right? So even for those of you who think, I'm not any good at social media, or I don't understand it, or I've tried it, it hasn't worked, that's okay. I want you to throw all of that out the window, because every day is a new day, right? Every day is a new day, no matter how many times. Remember what Thomas Edison, he figured out 100 ways how to not make a light bulb, right? He tried it 100 times, kept trying. And finally I don't know if it's technically the 101st time, but you get my point, right? He finally did it. And had he stopped, well, I'm sure hopefully at some point somebody else would have figured it out and invented it. But the point being is he did not give up. He continued to fail. Failing is proof that you're trying. I love to fail. And I can tell you guys, I have failed at a lot of things. But that means that I continue to try, I continue to push myself, and I keep I keep changing my mindset to say, okay, this didn't work this way, how can I try it this way? Or I need to consistently continue this because it worked over here. So if I can duplicate that one time that it worked, maybe 10 more times, then that's a win, right? That's growth. So any way that I can find ways to continue what I'm doing, to continue pushing, and again, that may look completely different for you. For you, I know some of us, like Brianna, kicking butt with fundraisers, right? Mystery boxes. Courtney and Brianna both kicking butt with mystery boxes, or the whiff boxes, I'm sorry. The Scentsy whiff boxes every single month, right? So you kind of find, again, what starts to work for you, and then you really lean into that, you push into that, and then you just continue to consistently do that. Now, the social media part of all of this really comes down to a few points that I wanted to talk to you today. So today I'm really going to focus more on Instagram, on graphics, and on stories. Facebook, obviously, we all have our love or hate relationship with Facebook. Let's be real. I kind of have a love-hate relationship with it myself. I mean, I love it for what it does for me, but at the same time, I hate the fact that there's the algorithm that I'm continuously trying to figure it out, work around it, find the tweaks that work to be able to get what I need out of Facebook, right? I will share with you guys that if you are just starting and if you haven't yet created maybe a group, a Facebook group, or a Facebook business page, or what we also call like a fan page on Facebook, I encourage you to do one of those things, either a group or a fan page. Because when you start doing things on your personal Facebook page and putting your link out there to your website, you know, all of that, which is perfectly fine, you're allowed to do, right? It's within compliance. We're not breaking any rules by doing any of that, right? But, and this is the big but, Facebook, if they start to see it too often, they start to tag a personal account saying, hey, you're being spammy. Knock it off. That's not what a personal account is for. A personal account is to connect and be social and use it for personal reasons, right? So what it wants you to do is to create a group, create a fan page or a business page, and do all of that on there. And usually, and this, I can attest to this for myself, I personally have never, knock on wood, wherever it is in my house, I've never been put into Facebook jail, but I have known plenty of friends who have been, and I've even seen newer consultants as of late have problems because they're continuously posting their link on their personal Facebook, and what's happening is Facebook is starting to mark that as spam. It's saying, oh my gosh, you're using this too much, it looks like you're selling something on a personal page. That's not what we want. And so Facebook says, boom, I'm gonna kick you out for a minute. No worries, Holly, talk to you later, honey. And so being able to kind of push everything over into that business page or into a group page is really going to be more beneficial for you in the end. And it's going to keep you out of more of that Facebook jail. It's going to kind of, you know, help you with your Facebook. And to be able to do that, that's really, I have a group for my VIPs, right? And I do that on invite only. It's not like this public group, right? So I invite my customers, I invite friends on social media or what have you, you know, who are interested in the opportunity, either joining or being a customer or hosting for me, what have you. And I create that VIP group, and that's kind of where I really don't get too salesy in there. I'm mostly sharing like the new and what you need to know things in Scentsy at the moment, right? So I'm always trying to like let people know, hey, we've got the summer collection launched, right? When there is a new buddy that gets released, right? They're the first ones to know. I kind of keep that as my VIP group. Again, I don't get too salesy. It's just basically, here's what's going on. Here are the products that are important right now. Or sometimes I'll just go in there and go live and have fun. You know, and it's not a whole lot of pressure, right? These are people that I've built some connection with, or they've had connection with me. Whereas I have a Facebook business page or fan page, again, however you call it, and on there is really where my sales work happens. Okay, that's where my marketing happens. That's a public forum, right? It's a public page, so nobody has to join it, so to speak. They just have to like it. To be notified of everything. And that's where I drop videos, unboxing videos. I still, of course, when the new stuff comes out, I put the links out there, marketing images, things like that, okay? So that's kind of how I piece it out. Now, that doesn't mean to say that on my personal Facebook, I don't sometimes talk about Scentsy, because I do. Why? Because Scentsy is part of me, right? I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I work my own business. And so part of all of that includes Scentsy. Now, I try to avoid by putting my link out there too often. So sometimes it might just be me sharing a post from my business page onto my personal page. Hey, you guys, oh my gosh, you've got to check this stuff out, or this is what's going on right now. So sometimes I'll do it that way. Other times I'll link it and say, hey guys, go, oh my gosh, you won't believe what just came out with Scentsy. Go over here to my fan page and check it out. And I'll put the link to my fan page there, right? So it's not the link to my website, so Facebook doesn't get all crazy and think that I'm being spammy. And again, knock on wood, so far it's kept me out of Facebook jail. That's kind of how I work my Facebook, because for the specific point being is that Facebook can be a black hole of your time. Anybody feel me out there? Because why? You can get lost in that scroll for an hour, 2 hours, sometimes longer. My husband's biggest thing, which drives me insane, but he does it, is he will start like watching a video on Facebook, and then like he lets the next video open, and then he just like binge watches on Facebook all these videos. And I'm always like, babe, put your phone down. Step away from the phone. Put it down. Because he will. I mean, he doesn't even realize it 9 times out of 10. The same thing can happen even if you're not watching those videos. But the same thing can happen when you're just scrolling, right? And for myself, and maybe for you too, if you're looking to really use social media for good and to really build that business and get that exposure, well, if you're just scrolling all day, then that's not really getting you too far when it comes to your business, right? Now, that's not to say if you've got free time or what have you, you're like, by all means, scroll as much as you want, watch as many videos as you want, and have some fun. But if you're really trying to stay intentional with your time and really trying to focus on, I'm working on building a business, then just scrolling through Facebook isn't going to do that, right? So that's kind of my point. So I really kind of use Facebook very strategically for that purpose, right? I'm using it for good, and I try not to get lost too deep into the black hole. It's not to say that I don't also at least once or twice a week spend some time really making connections, right? With friends, customers, family members, getting on there, commenting on their posts, right? We are in the relationship building business. So part of social media is to be social. So I know and I recognize the fact that yes, I need to be social along with just using it for my business needs. So it can be a little bit of a fine line to walk, but when you find that balance, you're really going to find that things work a lot better for you. I told you today we're going to really focus on Instagram, graphics, and stories. So let me jump into those. Instagram is my favorite thing ever. I'm not going to lie. I love Instagram. It's very visual for me. I actually do a lot of, yeah, let's be real. You guys know I'm going to be real with you. I do a lot of impulse buying through Instagram. All right, so the first thing that we're going to talk about when it comes to Instagram is optimizing. My hair is falling out. Optimizing your profile. You want to make sure that on Instagram, and I suggest this on Facebook as well. I know not everybody is completely comfortable with it, but I do highly suggest it because it does make a difference, is your profile pic should be you. Or you and your family, or you and your dog, or you and your kid, or whatever it is, whatever that looks like, right? You and your spouse, whatever. But it should be of you. Even if you change it for, a short time period to maybe a picture of your grandfather because it's their anniversary or something, right? That's fine. Oh, thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. That's obviously, that's perfectly fine, right? There's, nothing to be said badly about anything like that. But at the same time, you really want your default picture to be you, or you and whomever, right? Because at the end of the day, people start to really recognize you and associate you with Scentsy. And so when they see you, you want them to start thinking Scentsy. Your username and your tagline. Again, this is probably more specific to Instagram, but I will also say the same for Facebook. Sometimes on Facebook, I've seen some really names, guys. They're And then I have to look at it and go, wait a minute, what's their actual name, right? Like, that can't be their first name. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? You've seen those. You really want to make sure, again, you're really representing yourself as a business when it comes to working social media. So really make sure, if you're not using your name, at least something fairly close where people can still recognize you, right? Not something that would be like, I can't even think of an example off the top of my head. Anyway, so that, and in Instagram, you have the ability to kind of put like taglines. You can always hop onto my Instagram and you can see kind of how my bio is set up, but taglines is basically kind of just giving people, you know, short little top notes of what it is that you're about, right? I like to kind of really put that bio around, like, what are they going to see? If somebody goes to my YouTube profile or my Facebook, Instagram, hello, what social media platform am I talking about? Instagram. If they go to my Instagram profile, what are some of the pictures that they're going to see, right? They're probably going to see me as a mom doing the mom things. They're going to see me, you know, as a wife, right? So doing all the house chore, right? I'm a work at home mom. So I'm going to be cleaning around my house or making lunch. Today was a post about how I told myself I was still a rock star as I cut my daughter's crust off of her sandwich and made them into squares. The laundry queen. I like to call myself the laundry queen, right? Other influencers like Jenna Kutcher, if you've ever read any of her books or listened to her podcasts or even seen her on YouTube, very inspirational, right? Motivational. And she calls herself the mac and cheese queen, right? She loves mac and cheese, so she's all about it. And people kind of relate those things to her. And then the other thing with Instagram in the bio is you do have one area to actually put a clickable link. And you can completely customize this to whatever works best for you. For some of you, that may just be your official Scentsy website. For some of you, it may be linking him back to your, maybe you've got a VIP group, right? You could put that URL in there. If you're doing YouTube videos and you want to draw attention to your YouTube, put that link in there. What I currently have, because I'm usually driving people to all kinds of different places, and I was finding, this was me, I was finding that I was changing that URL all the time. And so finally I stopped and I said, okay, what I need to do is I need to really look at this from a bigger picture. How can I improve this instead of spending all this time changing that URL all the time? Is I actually went to Linktree, Linkttree, and you can do it for free or upgrade to a paid version if you'd like. I just use the free version. And you can actually list out a whole bunch of links. So to my official Scentsy site, to my YouTube site, to my Instagram pages, to my VIP group, you know, all these different things. So that's the one URL that is clickable, and it will get them to everything from my Instagram. Consistently posting, and guys, quality over quantity. Okay, you could post 25 pictures today on Instagram, but if they're not telling a story, then they're not really doing you any good. Let me just put it that way. So when you're thinking about Instagram, remember, it's a visual platform. You're trying to either tell a story, draw attention, have some fun, be inspirational, motivate, talk about your products, things like this, right? So you really want to be intentional with what you're putting out there. Not to say that it's not acceptable to not have some fun every so often. Trust me, I have some fun on my Instagram, right? But again, that's kind of playing more into who you are as a person, right? Kind of letting them in on the story of who you are, right? Being more authentic, connecting with people. Hashtags. OMG hashtags. Okay, I get asked the same question a lot of times. Should I put hashtags? When I use hashtags, how should I use them? Should I put them like in the post or should I put them in the comments? Okay, I've read lots of different blog posts and articles and all kinds of things about how one way is better than the other way. Honestly, when it comes down to it, for the algorithm feature, it does not matter. It doesn't matter. What really matters is the timing of the hashtags, because if you're really digging into that analytical aspect of it, of getting your post noticed or trending, right? Then you want to be able to have that hashtag make a difference in the first 20 minutes of that photo being posted. Hey Sharon. So that's really where it comes into making a difference. I personally, sometimes I'll put it in the comments. Other times if I'm like, oh, I don't want this in the comments, right? It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel authentic that way. Or put it in the post, and I'll actually just make a comment and I'll put some hashtags in there. But I do that right when I post it, not like 4 hours later when I'm looking at it going, I wonder if I can boost this by putting some hashtags on there. That's not gonna work. You're still gonna fall down in the algorithm when it comes to the big scheme of things. And posting with a purpose, like I said. Is it going to inspire people? Is it going to motivate people? Is it informing them? Is it selling them? Is it driving them to your other social media sites? If you're big on Pinterest, if you enjoy doing a lot of stuff on Pinterest, share that in your Instagram, right? You want to be able to tell them stories. Again, we're all about building relationships, right? So you're inviting people in. So how can they connect with you? Can they connect with you as a woman, as a man, as a working mom? Can they connect with you as you have an amazing green thumb and your garden looks fantastic, right? Can they relate to you with that? Are you really good at cooking? Do you really just love to cook, right? So you can put out some pretty food pictures, things like that. It all comes down to telling a story and getting people to relate to you, because the more that they can relate to you and like you, they will trust you. And that's when they really will become very loyal to you when it comes to your business. All right, let's talk about graphics for a second here. So I can do a whole tutorial on graphics, and perhaps I will later this week. Maybe I'll go live in the page and kind of share from my phone. Because here's the dealio, guys. I really, honestly, my graphics, I do all on my phone. Every so often, I will use Canva or PicMonkey on the computer and sit down and actually do graphics. That's more or less when I'm either making postcards that I want to create for Vistaprint, or I'm building a newsletter, something where I really just am sitting down and doing like a project work. When it comes to just me doing graphics to talk about the new warmer or to show off the new scents, it's really like bare bones apps that I'm using. And Canva is a really great one. For one, it's free. There is also a paid version to it, but I've used Canva just fine without a paid version. You can too. If you want to, by all means, you can pay for it. But it is free. And the one thing that I do like about Canva is that you can either have a full web version or do the mobile application on your phone, and both of them will sync together. So for example, if maybe I'm sitting down working on a newsletter or something that I want to send out, and I've created some graphics for it, and then later on that night I'm sitting on the couch and I'm like, oh, I should put an Instagram post out there about my newsletter that's going out. All I have to do is pull up the Canva app on my phone, and any graphics that I created in Canva when I was on the computer will already be on my app. So very easily I could just grab that picture, share it on my Instagram. Hey, you won't want to miss my newsletter that's going out later this week, blah, 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 right? Whatever it is that I'm talking about. Same thing if you were doing pictures and making graphics. Photofy. I have to say, I don't use Photofy probably as much as I could. It's not my absolute favorite app, but it's there. The one thing that I do like with Photofy is a lot of people really do enjoy it and love it, and that's fine. It's just not one that I can really get into, I guess. And again, it's personal preference. But the one thing about Photofy, I do pay a 99-cent fee every single month, and it is actually synced with Scentsy. So Scentsy actually has a partnership with Photofy, so they can, if you pay 99 cents a month, you can open up the Scentsy artwork, and that's where you can get like that Scentsy Independent Consultant logo that you can put on your picture or whatever picture it is that you're doing. It'll give you like the fun shapes of the diffusers and the bars, and it'll even pull up product images as well. So again, you can get really fun. Like you can take a picture like that, right? And then open it into Photofy, and then you can take a picture of the bar of Squeeze a Day, and it, you know, you can kind of place it to where it looks like it's sitting on your hand in the picture, right? Boom. Cool, cute little graphic. Holly's back. So that's kind of really nice. 99 cents a month is worth it for me to kind of basically have a little fun that way. Over, O-V-E-R. Oh my goodness. I love this app. I love this app. I love this app. It is my absolute favorite. I can do so much with it. It is, you can do a free version. You can also do a paid version. I honestly do the paid version simply because I use it. I don't even know how many times during the week, but I use a ton of it, right? I love this app. I've spent a lot of time on this app. I enjoy it. I feel comfortable with it. I can do a lot of things with it. And I like it because it comes with all the different size templates. So if maybe I'm looking to do Instagram stories, or if I'm looking to do a YouTube thumbnail, or if I'm looking for the perfect Instagram sizing, whatever, right? I can pick from all these different sizes, and it will resize my image to whatever it is that I'm doing, a Facebook cover photo, anything like that, right? I love that app. And I also get their newsletter, or I'm on their email list, what have you. And I did see a pop-up that they were going to be having a web version coming soon. So as much as I love the app, and as much as I really don't do graphics too often on the computer, I might very well do that with Over, because I just do use it enough. Another thing too with Over, and maybe the same for Photofy, but again, I'm not that familiar with Photofy because it's not my favorite. I'm so sorry if you like it and I'm not loving it as much as you are. But with Over, they have tons of video tutorials on how to do different things within the application. So that's a very cool thing. PicMonkey is another one. Again, there's an app or there's a web version. So depending on how you're doing your graphics, you can do it that way. Again, that's one that I will use if I'm sitting down doing a project, creating, you know, cover photos, newsletter templates, things like that. That's really when I use it. So anyway, so we will probably do, I'll probably do a screen share here pretty soon of walking through, you know, how to do graphics. But really when it comes down to graphics for me, we have the marketing tab on the workstation, which is amazing, and they give us great images, so you can feel free to use those, put it into your app, make your pretty graphics that way. I personally just really love the authentic pictures, right? The in real life. Hey Sharon, the in real life pictures. So the majority of the pictures that I usually do are me using the products in my home or when I get them or whatever, right? I just really like that. I enjoy that, and it's something that I like to do. So it's just taking another passion and kind of putting it into my Scentsy business. So again, that's just a personal preference. All right, let's move on to stories and we'll round out this training. So stories, I love Instagram stories and everything that you can do, pretty much, everything that you can pretty much do through Instagram stories, you can do the same thing on Facebook stories, okay? And you can do stories if you have a group, if you have a fan page, what have you. So you could do these same things on Facebook. I really focus more on Instagram, and then I will push content out into Facebook world. Again, personal preference though. Okay, so Instagram stories. The first point I want to make about Instagram stories is you can be invisible. So for those of you who aren't yet comfortable maybe being in front of the camera, doing videos, going live, things like that, stories are where it's at. You guys, you can literally baby step your way into the comfort zone of getting more comfortable with the camera. And that's because you can I was looking at my notes here. What was I trying to say there? Oh, because I wrote down rarely do makeup or get dressed. And I was like, what? What was I trying to say there? Oh yeah, that's because if you want to make stories, you can do stories and not do makeup, or if you don't wear makeup anyway, it doesn't matter. But usually if I'm doing like a video, I feel like I have to at least get somewhat put together, right? Other times I've got the top knot and my glasses on, and that's how I'm working. And that's great, right? And especially when I'm doing stories, I can very easily create some really cute, fun stories without me being on camera, right? And so that kind of takes that out of it, and it really draws attention. 2, promote your content and products. So again, you can use the stories feature to drive them to, again, if you've got a YouTube, if you've got a Facebook fan page, you can talk about those things. You can drive them to your website. Oh my gosh, look what just came out. You're going to love this. You got to go check it out, right? And things like that. Another point is you can do a lot of inspiration or daily affirmations. I love this. I honestly use it a lot. Simply because the stories feature, anyway, it really kind of captures people because, again, it's something they can watch, okay, even though it doesn't seem like that, but they can watch it consecutively. And it's really kind of nice to be able to throw in the ability of those motivational things. Is Pinterest good to get a following? Most certainly. There are a lot of people on Pinterest every single day. I'm pulling up my Pinterest right now because if you look at your own Pinterest, depending on how often you use it, this tells me right here, just opening Pinterest, it tells me right here on the front page that this month I had 28.3 thousand views, and I had 2.2 thousand monthly engagements. That means people were clicking on my pictures to get to the website that was behind it. Monthly viewers, I think all of those stats really come just from the things that you pen, whether that's something that you're uploading, because remember, you can upload and create your own pen, or you can repen it, but you can go behind the scenes there and actually put in your website, again, drawing them to different things. So Pinterest definitely has, and again, you can go, I have a business account with Pinterest. Maybe that's why it gives me those stats. I don't remember. It's been so long because I've had my Pinterest forever, but I've had it set up as this business account for so long. I honestly don't remember if that automatically comes up if it's just a personal page, so that might not. But you can, it's free, right? It does not cost a thing. Yes, Sharon, yes, starting to get into it. So that's another thing that we could do too in the group, is I could go through and kind of show you too. I think I've got a couple of videos on it on my YouTube, but they're probably older. I think they would still work, but we can always do an updated kind of tutorial step by step, and I can do that from my phone and show you. Again, like you said, uploading your own pictures, then you can attach your website if you want them to go to your website and shop. If you want them to go visit your Facebook or your Instagram, whatever, you can put a link and attach it to a picture. So again, that monthly engagement that I was just telling you about, every time somebody clicked on that picture and went to the website behind it, that's where they went, whether it was to my website, whether it was to, I've got a cooking blog, right? So sometimes I post a lot of food stuff. So they might be going to my food blog too. But it's a really great way to get leads. It really is. So it's growing. There's tons of people that are on Pinterest every single day. And I can get lost in Pinterest, totally, 100%. In the stories feature, you can also, so again, we could kind of incorporate Pinterest, right? You could share, maybe either screenshot or share an image that you're posting to Pinterest and be like, oh my gosh, you have got to check out my Pinterest board that is all about Scentsy. Go look it up, right? And share, your Pinterest name there. So that would be one good thing. But kind of maybe using the stories feature, again, we're building relationships. So we want people to, we want to invite them in, inviting them in, right? So they feel more comfortable with us, they like us, they start to get to know us as people, right? Same thing, vice versa with them. But kind of sharing maybe your daily routines. Maybe for you, it's, just how you're working your business that day. I love being able to share things like that. If you like doing beauty, talking about beauty. Again, if it's something that has to do with you, it doesn't always just have to revolve around Scentsy. Remember, when you're building a relationship, you are working to build that relationship based on the things that you like and enjoy. And so that's where you're going to get people who have the same likes and joys and interests that you do, that are going to connect with you. And then they're going to fall over into your world of Scentsy, right? So being able to create those connections. So for some of you, it might be beauty. For me, it's mom life, right? I'm all about mom. Food. I'm a foodie. Sometimes it's just running errands, right? It's us at Target or us walking through the grocery store. Special events. If you go out somewhere special, you can either take pictures, take video of where you're at. When we went out for my birthday night, we went to a hibachi restaurant. And so in my stories, I did a lot of videos of the whole grilling stuff happening. Maybe you have a morning or a nightly ritual that you feel could be inspirational, you could share with others. Or maybe it's just something personal, right? For me, one of those things that I call personal is, and I think you guys kind of maybe know a little bit about me, but I do have chronic pain, and I've got endometriosis. I have degenerative disc disease in my back. I have fibromyalgia, and so there are days that are worse than others. There are days where I have to paint the smile on my face just to make it through, right? And some of us struggle with things like that. So rather than hiding those things, sometimes social media can really kind of maybe just be the highlight reel. And sometimes a really great way to connect with people is to show them the more personal side of things. And that's not to say that you have to share like your worst photo ever, but there's days where, I just feel like crap. And, I'm like, this is not my day. Tomorrow I'll tackle it all again, right? But it's sharing more of that personal side of you. Oh, William, awesome. So sharing those things. Then there's the fun stuff on Instagram stories. Oh my gosh, I challenge you. If you guys aren't comfortable, familiar, or really understanding what I'm talking about when it comes to stories, I want you to get on there and play. Because you can get on there and play with a whole bunch of different things and just not post it. You can just hit the X button and delete the whole thing, right? But there's so many features between the GIF stickers and the little people that move and do fun gestures, right? And the polls. You can add music to your videos, to your pictures. You can put up questions, right? Get people engaging, right? Which scent should I was like reaching for bars, but I have no bars in my desk. Which scent should I warm today? Should I warm Squeeze the Day, or should I warm Making Waves? Or is it Make Waves? Making Waves? Make Waves. Anyway, you get my point, right? Which one should I warm, right? And then you create a poll in your stories, and people will click on that. Again, creating that engagement. That's what we want. Tips and advice, sharing those on your stories is really fun. Hey, I use cotton balls, or hey, I use the cotton cleanups or Scentsy. I get these. I actually have mine in my Scentsy club. So once a month I get a packet of them because I changed my wax. But I've got a big old bag of cotton balls too. So I use the cotton balls too. Maybe it's just showing them a quick thing of how you put in the cotton balls to soak up the wax and then wipe it out, and then you're putting in 2 more cubes, right? You're sharing tips, you're sharing advice. Again, you guys don't feel like you have to be an expert when it comes to the world of Scentsy. It's sharing what you do as an independent consultant, right? We're not all experts. We didn't start out on level 100. We all start out on level 1. And for a lot of times, that's where our customers are starting as well. And so it's just sharing the tips, the advice that you have for them, what scents that you think are great, the ones that are amazing. I'm baking. And then product reviews. OMG. Okay, so I did a video yesterday where I unboxed a box and I went live on Facebook with it. But you could do the same thing in the stories. You can do video and you can scroll over, and on video there's a thing that says hands free, so that way you can just push the button and it'll continue to record without you holding the button. So just so you know that. Sharon posted that she was cleaning her warmer earlier today. See, exactly. That's what it's all about, is sharing those tips and advice, because you never know when it's a first-time customer watching that, right? Whether it's a post, whether it's an Instagram story, whether it's on your Facebook, whether it's on a YouTube, in a Pinterest post, right? you're going to start grabbing more people where you're posting more things. And so the more eyes that you have on things, again, more people are going to be like, oh, I remember Sharon posted about how she cleaned out her warmer and that really helped me. And now I remember that. Oh, I'm going to follow her because she gave me a really great tip, right? And you may be sitting there going, well, it wasn't the greatest tip ever. But to that person, it was the greatest tip ever. Or it was the best tip they'd heard ever about Scentsy, right? We don't know where we're picking up our customers and how much they know, how little they know, who knows, or what's going to draw their attention. So don't think that you have to like be the number one know-it-all to be able to give tips and advice. You do not. I'm living proof. Yes, I am living proof. We'll round this out with tutorials. Cleaning your warmer, changing wax, you're working your business, right? Again, you're sharing more of the behind the scenes. Sharing the behind the scenes, right? You're pulling back the curtain. This is how I work my business. Look at how easy this is, right? I'm sitting on my couch and I'm answering emails or I'm doing follow-ups with my Maven system. This is the life, right? Hashtag I love my job. Boom, right? You're capturing people. Traveling, right? If you're going to be hitting up any amazing Scentsy events, speaking of which, today is the last day that you can register for Scentsy Family Reunion. But when you're going to those events, when you're even if you're not going, then you can still help build up the excitement, because even if you're not going to be there, and trust me, I haven't been there for a good number of them myself, you still will be able to feel like you're part of the experience. So you can still share what you're seeing with your customers, with your followers, and kind of give them that sense of belonging. And really the behind the scenes is just really huge, right? People love to see how you actually do things, right? What does your office really look like? Or, what does making samples for you really look like? People just really find that interesting, and it again catches attention. And whether or not it's somebody who's been a consultant for a while, or who just joined, or has been a consultant for 5 years, maybe they've just never seen that, or they, for some reason, they just connect with you because they also have a green thumb and they're like, I follow her because she shows me pictures of her garden and I love it, and oh, she does the Scentsy thing too. Wow, I want to be like her. Right? That's how you're capturing, that's how you're building those relationships, and that's how you're bringing people in. So the stories feature does all of those things and tons more. And again, you can have a ton of fun with it. It really is fun. Being able to use hashtags in there, tagging people or locations or what have you. It's going to, again, draw more people into seeing your content. And at the end of the day, that's what social media is all about. That's what social media is about, is creating and capturing those moments, those things in our lives that we're doing, and bringing them back in. And pretty soon they're going to fall in love not only with you, and they're going to connect with you, but they're also going to be like, and that whole Scentsy thing, I need some information, or I need to start buying a warmer, and I need to start getting some wax because you're always talking about it, and now I really want to try it. So that's what you're really going for. So consistently doing all of those things, sharing these things, it's not going to take you all day to do it. It's going to take you a few minutes here or there. You don't have to do 100 of them a day. Do 1, maybe 2 or 3 a day, tops, right? And put it out there. Do more if you want to do more, but by all means, at least if you're doing 1 a day, that's consistent, right? And again, consistency is what builds those habits, and it's what draws people in, knowing that you're committed to something. And when they know that you're committed to something, they know they can trust you, and then they're going to begin to start really diving into you and your business. All right, guys, I know that was a lot of content that I pushed in there, and I really went over on time, so I apologize, but good things came out of this, I think. Hopefully some good tips that you're walking away with. You're going to look more into stories. You're going to play around with more stories. You're maybe play around with some graphics, try out some of those apps. You're going to get on some Instagram. Maybe you're going to create a group page or a VIP fan book page, whatever it is, on Facebook, and you're going to really start incorporating those things. And be watching on the team page here, because I will be doing a tutorial of my favorite app, Over. That's just the one that I love. I can probably do one on Photify too. I don't use it that often. I only use it for certain things. But can do that, and can also do Pinterest as well, so we can get a little bit of hands-on when it comes to those different apps and how to use those. So, all right, I will let you guys have the rest of your days and evenings back. Thank you all for joining us live, and if you're catching us on the replay and you have questions, then don't hesitate to holler and let us know. But until then, bye.